Right, so picture this. It's Friday night, you got your snacks, comfy clothes, all set to dive into the latest episode of your favorite show, and then, bam, your DStv service is down.
Oh, no.
Because of a missed payment.
Oof, yeah, I've been there.
We've all been there, right? Tonight, we're taking a deep dive into online DStv payments.
Okay.
Exploring how to make sure that never happens again.
Right.
We'll be working from a recent article, how to easily pay for your DStv subscription online, which is packed with useful info.
Right.
Some of it pretty surprising.
Like what?
You'll even learn how to pay using just your South African ID number on some platform.
Really? Wow, that's interesting.
It is pretty wild, right? Like,
Yeah.
It's amazing how technology is changing even the simplest things.
It is.
Paying bills used to be such a chore,
Oh, tell me about it.
but now it's all at our fingertips.
For sure.
Before we jump into the how-tos, though, let's do a quick recap.
Okay.
For anyone new to this, DStv is the satellite TV provider in South Africa. They've got a massive selection of channels covering everything from sports to movies to documentaries.
Yeah, they have everything.
You can choose the package that fits your budget and your interests, and as long as you stay current on your payments,
Right.
the entertainment keeps flowing.
And that's where online payments come in.
Exactly.
And this isn't just about convenience, though, let's be honest. Who doesn't love skipping the bank queue?
Oh, for sure.
It's also about security.
Right.
These platforms use high-tech encryption to protect your financial info so you can pay with peace of mind.
Okay, so let's say you're a Capitec Bank customer and you want to pay your DStv online.
Okay.
It's super straightforward, especially if you're already using their online banking.
This is a great example of how banks are becoming more than just banks. They're evolving into platforms where you can manage your entire financial life, including entertainment subscriptions.
I know, right? It's all about that integrated experience.
Yeah.
So with Capitec, you log into your online banking either on their website or through their app. Then you head to the Transact section and choose Payments.
Okay.
You'll need to enter your remote PIN. Think of it like a second password specifically for authorizing payments.
Right.
Just for an extra layer of security.
Gotcha.
Now, if this is your first time paying for DStv through Capitec, you'll need to add multi-choice as a beneficiary. Basically, this tells your bank where to send the money, linking your payment directly to your DStv account.
It's kind of like introducing your DStv account to your bank account.
Yeah.
So they can start working together.
Exactly.
Once that connection is made, paying your bills becomes seamless.
I love the way you put that. You'll need to select the right option for your subscription type, box office DStv or multi-choice DStv.
Right.
And then input your unique DStv account number. Make sure you double check that number. We don't want any payment hiccup.
Yeah, that we don't.
Once everything is confirmed, you enter the amount you want to pay, review, and hit that pay button.
Easy.
One more remote PIN-in entry for confirmation, and boom, you're done.
And one of the best things about Capitec is that they offer instant payment confirmation.
Nice.
You know, right away that your payment went through. So you can relax and enjoy your shows without worrying about interruptions.
Okay, so Capitec's pretty easy, right? But what if you're with F&B? They've actually got a bunch of different ways you can pay your DStv online.
What I find interesting about F&B is how they cater to different people's preferences. They've got their banking app, their website, and even cell phone banking.
Oh, wow.
So you can choose whatever is most convenient for you.
Yeah, they've really covered all the bases.
They have.
Let's start with the app, since a lot of people prefer doing everything on their phones these days.
Right.
You open up the app, log in, and go to the Payments tab.
Well,
Then you'll select Add Recipient Bill and choose Multi-Choice as the biller. You'll use either your customer number or your smart card number, which is basically how F&B identifies your DStv account.
it's all about making that connection between your F&D account and your DStv account.
So the payment goes to the right place.
Right. Once you've added multi-choice, you'll see them listed under My Bills. Just tap on it, enter the amount, confirm the details, and hit Pay.
Okay.
You'll need to enter your PIN for security,
Right.
and that's it. Now, if you'd rather use F&B's website, the process is very similar.
Okay.
You just navigate to the payments section, select My Bills, and follow the same steps.
Makes sense.
They've done a great job of making the experience consistent across all their platforms.
Exactly. It's user-friendly whether you're on your phone, your computer, or even using good old-fashioned cell phone banking.
Speaking of which, let's talk about F&B's cell phone banking option.
All right.
Some people might not have smartphones or reliable internet access, and this is a great alternative. You just dial 1203211, tag from your registered cell phone.
Okay.
Enter your PIN A and follow the prompts.
All right.
You'll choose prepaid, then pay TV, and finally DStv. You can even pay for box office this way.
Wow.
Pretty cool, right? It's impressive how they've made it so accessible for everyone, regardless of their tech situation.
Yeah.
And like Capitec F&B also offers real-time activation,
Oh, nice.
meaning your DStv service is restored as soon as your payment goes through.
Right.
No waiting around.
And they've gone a step further by letting you manage your DStv subscription right within their banking ecosystem.
Oh, really?
You can view your balance track, your payment history,
Wow.
even set up those automatic recurring payments so you never miss a due date.
Andy,
It's like a one-stop shop for all things DStv.
it's really making me think about the future of subscriptions.
Oh,
What if all our bills and services were managed through a single platform like our bank?
that's a fascinating thought. Imagine a world where everything is streamlined and organized in one place.
Yeah, it would be so much simpler.
But before we get too carried away with the future,
Right.
we've got one more payment option to explore.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's do it. What else have you got for us?
This one is called Easy Pay, and it's living up to its name in a big way.
How so?
The cool thing about Easy Pay is that you don't even need a bank account to use it,
Really?
which is a game changer for people who might not have traditional banking relationships.
Absolutely. That opens up access to so many more people. It's all about making these services more inclusive.
Exactly. So with Easy Pay, you go to their website, select DStv as your service provider,
Okay.
and then choose subscription payment as your transaction type.
Right.
Now, here's the really interesting part.
Okay.
You can identify yourself using either your South African ID number, your smart card number,
Wow.
or your multi-choice customer number.
Talk about flexibility.
Right.
Can you imagine paying all your bills with just your ID number? That would be incredible.
I know, right?
It's amazing how far we've come in terms of simplifying these processes.
It's like a glimpse into a future where everything is just a few clicks away.
Yeah.
So once you've identified yourself, you'll enter any additional details.
Yeah.
Like a reference number if needed, and specify the amount you're paying.
Right.
Then you review everything carefully and click on Pay Now.
And just like the banks, Easy Pay takes security seriously.
Yeah.
They've got robust measures in place to protect your information during the transaction.
Absolutely. You can have peace of mind knowing that your details are safe. After you make the payment, you'll receive a confirmation via email or SMS,
Okay.
and your DStv account will be updated instantly.
Right.
And here's another great feature.
What's that?
You can add beneficiaries.
Oh, nice.
So if you're managing DStv for your family or even for roommates, you can streamline the process by adding them as beneficiaries.
Handy.
It's like having a digital address book for all your payments.
It's all about making life a little bit easier, one payment at a time.
Now, let's say you hit a snag.
Oh,
Maybe you entered the wrong information.
okay.
Or your internet connection went wonky.
Yeah.
Easy Pay has got your back with their awesome customer service. They're available Monday through Friday from 7:00 a.m. to 9:000 p.m. And even on weekends and public holidays from 8:00 a.m. to 1:00 p.m.
Wow, that's helpful.
You can call them or shoot them an email, and they're known for being super responsive and helpful.
That kind of accessibility is so important, especially when you're dealing with something as time-sensitive as a subscription payment. It's reassuring to know there's always someone there to help if you need it.
I totally agree. So far, we've explored 3 solid options for paying your DStv online. Each one has its own unique advantages and caters to different needs and preferences.
It's great to have choices, right? But before we move on,
Yeah.
it's important to address the what-ifs.
Okay.
What happens if you encounter a problem during the payment process?
Right.
What if your payment fails? What if you forget your PIN?
Uh-oh.
Don't worry, we've got you covered.
Exactly. We're going to dive into some common payment issues and give you the tools to troubleshoot them like a pro.
Okay.
But first, we're going to take a quick pause. We'll be right back with more DStv payment wisdom, so stay tuned.
Sounds good. All right, so let's dive into some of these common payment issues
Okay, sounds good.
and how to troubleshoot them. You know, I bet a lot of people have experienced that moment of panic when a payment doesn't go through.
Oh, absolutely. It's like that sinking feeling when you realize you might miss your favorite show.
Exactly.
So let's dive right in. What's the first thing someone should check if their DStv payment gets rejected?
Well, the most obvious thing is to make sure you have enough money in your account.
Okay.
Sounds simple.
Right.
But sometimes we forget to check our balance before hitting that pay button. A quick glance can save a lot of headaches later on.
That's so true. I've definitely been there. Okay, so let's say your balance is fine. What else could be causing the issue?
Another common culprit is incorrect information.
Ah.
A typo in your customer number, your smart card number, or even your ID number can throw everything off. It's always a good idea to double-check those details before submitting any payment.
Right.
Not just for DStv.
Great tip. Accuracy is key. But what if all the information is correct and the payment still fails? Could it be a tech issue?
Absolutely. Sometimes a weak or unstable internet connection can interrupt the payment process.
Okay.
This is especially true for mobile payments where signal strength can be a factor.
Right.
If you're in an area with spotty service, you might want to wait till you have a stronger connection before trying again.
That's a good point. And speaking of tech issues, are there any limitations on the bank's end that could cause problems?
Yeah, some banks have daily transaction limits which could prevent a larger payment from going through.
Okay.
It's always wise to be aware of your bank's policies and any restrictions they might have on certain transactions.
Good to know. It's always better to be informed than to run into unexpected roadblocks. And speaking of roadblocks, what about those scheduled maintenance periods that MultiChoice sometimes has? Could that affect payments?
Yeah, definitely. If you try to make a payment during a maintenance window,
Okay.
it might not be processed immediately, even if the funds are already deducted from your account.
Right.
This usually happens between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. So if you're a night owl who likes to pay bills in the wee hours, keep that in mind.
It's like trying to call someone when their phone is off. You just have to wait till they're back online.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And speaking of waiting, sometimes the best solution is simply to be patient. If you've checked everything and the payment's still failing,
Right.
try waiting a little while and then attempting it again.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just a temporary glitch that resolves itself.
It's like that classic IT advice. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Exactly.
Sometimes a little patience goes a long way. But what if you've tried all of that and you're still stuck? Who do you turn to for help?
When you call in the experts, both DStv and MultiChoice have dedicated customer support teams who can help you troubleshoot any payment issues. They're available through various channels like phone, email, and even online chat support.
It's always reassuring to know that there are people you can reach out to for help, especially when you're dealing with something as important as your entertainment. And honestly, I'm always impressed by how responsive and helpful these customer service teams are. They really go the extra mile to make sure you're taken care of.
They understand that people rely on these services for entertainment, relaxation, and staying connected with the world.
Yeah.
It's more than just a bill payment. It's about enabling people to enjoy their downtime.
Okay, so we've covered the basics of troubleshooting payment issues. Now I want to shift gears a bit and talk about some common questions people have about DStv payments. The first one that pops up a lot is, can you pay for someone else's DStv subscription?
Oh, yeah.
Like if you wanted to help out a family member or a friend who might not be as comfortable with online payments.
Absolutely. It's actually very straightforward.
Okay.
The process is almost identical to paying for your own subscription. You just need to make sure you're using their DStv account number or customer details instead of yours when making the payment.
That's super helpful. It's great to know that you can lend a hand to someone who might need a little assistance navigating the digital world. Now, another question I see a lot is about how long it takes for a payment to reflect in your DStv account. Is it instant or is there a waiting period?
Most online platforms process payments instantly.
Okay.
So you should see the update in your DStv account right away.
Right.
However, as we mentioned earlier, there can be delays during those MultiChoice maintenance periods, usually between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m.
Right.
In those cases, your payment might not be reflected until after the maintenance is complete, even if the money is already debited from your account.
It's like sending an email when the server is down. It'll eventually go through, but there might be a bit of a delay.
Exactly. It's just something to be aware of, especially if you're making a last-minute payment.
Okay. What else is on your list of frequently asked questions?
This one is about forgetting your PI.
Yes.
It's happened to all of us at some point, right?
Of course.
We're trying to make a payment and suddenly you draw a blank.
Yeah.
Like your brain just decides to hit the pause button at the worst possible moment.
Happens to the best of us.
What do you do in that situation?
Don't panic. Most banks have very user-friendly systems for resetting your PI.
Okay.
You can usually do it directly through their website or app without having to call customer service or visit a branch.
That's such a relief. I know I've been there frantically searching for my bank's phone number while trying to remember my security questions. It's not a fun experience.
Definitely not. But thankfully, the process is much simpler these days. You'll usually just need to verify your identity by answering security questions or receiving a one-time password via SMS.
Okay.
Once you've done that, you can set up a new PON and get back to your payment.
Okay, so we've tackled forgotten peons. What's next?
Let's talk about fees.
Okay.
This is a big one for people who are new to online payments.
Yeah.
Are there any extra charges for paying your DStv subscription online? That's a great question. I think a lot of people assume that there are hidden fees associated with online transactions.
Right. The good news is that most major banks don't charge additional fees for paying bills online.
Oh, that's good.
However, it's always a good idea to double check with your specific bank, just to be sure.
Okay.
They might have their own terms and conditions related to electronic transactions.
Better safe than sorry. Speaking of being safe, let's talk about the big one. Automatic payments.
Okay.
Can you set up those recurring payments for your DStv subscription so you never have to worry about missing a due date?
You bet. Many banks offer the option to schedule automatic payments for bills like your DStv subscription.
Right.
You can usually find this feature within your online banking platform under the bill management section.
So you set it up once, specify the payment amount and how often you want it to recur, and then you can basically forget about it. The payment will be deducted from your account automatically each month without you having to lift a finger.
Exactly. It's a fantastic way to stay organized, avoid late fees, and free up mental space for more important things, like deciding what to watch next.
I love that. It's like having a personal assistant for your DStv payments.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from troubleshooting payment issues to addressing those frequently asked questions. I'm feeling much more confident about the whole online payment process now.
Me too. But before we wrap up this deep dive, I think it's important to highlight a key takeaway from our research.
Okay.
The article emphasizes the importance of staying informed about potential issues
Right.
that might affect your DStv service, even if you've made all your payments on time.
That's a really good point. Sometimes things happen that are beyond our control, like technical glitches or those planned maintenance periods we talked about.
Exactly. And it's crucial to know where to find information and support in those situations.
Yeah.
Luckily, MultiChoice has various communication channels to keep subscribers updated.
Okay.
They often announce planned outages or maintenance schedules in advance through their website, social media platforms, and even through SMS notifications.
It's like having a direct line to the DStv headquarters. So it's a good idea to keep an eye out for those announcements, especially if you're planning a weekend binge-watching session.
Definitely. And if you experience an unexpected interruption,
Yeah.
don't hesitate to reach out to their customer support team. They can provide real-time updates and guide you through any troubleshooting steps. It's like having a personal tech support team just for your DStv.
I love that analogy. But, beyond the practical aspects of paying your subscription and staying informed, I think there's a bigger takeaway here, something that really resonated with me.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
It's about empowerment.
Okay.
Knowing how to navigate these online systems, troubleshoot issues, and advocate for yourself as a consumer, these are valuable skills that go way beyond just managing your DStv account.
I couldn't agree more. These are essential life skills for thriving in a world that's increasingly digital.
It's about taking control of your entertainment experience, making sure you're getting the most out of it. And honestly, it's a confidence booster. When you can handle these things on your own, it makes you feel more capable and in charge.
You're absolutely right. And who knows, maybe mastering online DStv payments will inspire you to explore other areas where you can use technology to simplify your life.
I love that thought. It's all about embracing those aha moments and realizing that technology can be our friend, not our foe. But before we get too philosophical, we should probably wrap up this section and move on to our final thoughts.
Sounds good. Let's transition to our closing remarks and leave our listener with some inspiring takeaways.
Okay, so we've talked about the how-tos, the troubleshooting, but let's zoom out for a sec.
Okay.
And really think about why this whole online parent thing is such a big deal.
Yeah.
It's not just about keeping up with technology, it's about a whole new level of control and convenience.
Yeah. It's like you said, you're taking the reins of your own entertainment experience. You're not stuck waiting for a store to open or the mail to arrive.
Right, exactly.
Okay, whenever you want, however you want, it's empowering.
I remember when you actually had to go to a store to pay your DStv bill.
Oh, yeah.
Or wait for the mail.
Uh-huh.
And if you forgot or life just got in the way, bam, your service is interrupted.
Oh, yeah, the worst.
And we're talking primetime finale episode interruption.
Yeah, not a good look.
But now with online payments, that's a worry of the past.
It really is. It's such a relief to know that you're not going to miss out on those must-watch moments because you forgot to pay a bill.
Right.
And the best part is you can pay from anywhere you know, waiting in line at the bank, pay your DStv bill.
On the bus.
Done.
Exactly.
It fits into your life.
And you can even set up reminders for payment due dates.
Oh, yeah.
So it's almost impossible to forget.
No more late fees.
No more last-minute scrambles.
Exactly. I'm all about anything that simplifies my life.
Yeah.
And reduces stress. And this is definitely it.
Oh, for sure.
And you get that added bonus of a detailed transaction history. You can track your payments, see how much you're spending, get a really clear picture of your DStv expenses.
Super helpful for budgeting.
Oh, yeah.
But even beyond like the practical stuff, I think there's a psychological advantage to embracing online payments.
Really?
Removes so much anxiety.
That's true. I agree. When you're in control.
Right.
When you have systems in place to make sure things are running smoothly, it just frees up mental space. You can just relax and enjoy your downtime knowing that everything is taken care of.
It's like checking something off your to-do list, you know? It just feels good to be on top of things.
It does.
And I think it builds confidence too.
How so?
The more comfortable you become with like navigating the digital world, managing your finances online, the more empowered you feel in general.
Yeah, you're leveling up your life skills.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe this will inspire you to explore other digital tools and platforms. Maybe start managing all your bills online or try that online grocery delivery service you've been thinking about.
It's like opening a door to a whole new world.
So to our listener, I'll leave you with this. Don't be intimidated by technology, embrace it. Dive in, explore the options, and find what works best for you.
Yeah, the tools are there. They're designed to make your life easier.
Exactly. Technology should work for you, not against you. With a little knowledge and some willingness to experiment, you can harness its power to create a more streamlined, stress-free, enjoyable experience.
Exactly.
Whether it's managing your DStv or anything else.
Well said.
So that wraps up our deep dive into the world of online DStv payments.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
We hope you found it insightful and maybe even a little inspiring.
Yeah, and remember, stay curious, stay informed and happy streaming